Hello, fellow comrades. Welcome to Sidecar on Yammie Noob. Alrighty guys, today is a special video. We've never featured anything like this on the Yammie Noob channel. This is a 2014 URAL gear up that we rented off of Twisted Road. But the cool thing is the guy we rented it from is actually a Discord member who's local here in Austin, which was really cool. His name is Crab Waffle on the Discord, and he owns this URAL that we rented from him. And Spite, this is one of the wildest machines we've ever featured on the channel.
Yeah, it rides like nothing I've ever ridden before. It's closer to a snowmobile than a motorcycle.
Yep.
It's so peculiar, so agricultural, so old, but it's got a real charm to it.
Yeah.
You know, it's...
What are the specs on it? I actually don't know.
They're pretty abysmal, to be honest. So this thing has a 749cc boxer twin that makes 40 horsepower and 38 foot-pounds of torque.
Those are Royal Enfield numbers, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a little rough, especially when you consider that the wet weight is close to 770 pounds.
Well, let me ask you this though. Would you want this motorcycle in this configuration, the way it handles, with any more power, really?
Oh, dear sweet Jesus, no.
That's what I was thinking. Like, imagine if this thing had like a liter bike engine in it, right?
Oh my God, it's, so I've ridden it to the office and to the shoot here, and it goes into a tank slapper going straight.
Like, yeah, which we will see when we get it out on the road. Now, I have not ridden it yet, so you guys will get my very raw first impression of it.
It's a very unique riding experience, and when you really start to get into it, you realize that, hey, I'm just having fun. I'm sidecarring. You're not riding a motorcycle.
Yeah.
You're just poodling around, going slow on what really is kind of a relic of a different time.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it may have fuel injection, it may have Brembo brakes and braided lines, but at its heart, it's really, really old, and in both good and bad ways, I think.
Yeah. So let's look at some of the peculiarities and oddities of this motorcycle, and then we're gonna get it out on the road and see what it's like to ride. All right guys, so one of my favorite things on the URAL here is how ridiculously large this trunk space is. GS boys, eat your heart out, because when you open this thing up, you can fit anything you need to in here. I've never seen anything this large on a motorcycle. It is pretty insane what you could take on the road with you on this machine. I also love the fact that it comes with a shovel on the side of it. It tells you that this was a Soviet machine built for the rough and tumble landscapes of the tundra, and you had to maybe break some ground while you were out there. Spite, what are you noticing on this?
So my favorite thing, having ridden it around, is actually what's going on between the motorcycle and the sidecar here. There's a shaft drive, and then there's another shaft going to the outside wheel, and you can actually drop a gear and go into two-wheel drive, which makes it handle really strange, but hey, it's pretty cool when you're stuck off-road.
Yeah.
And there's another lever down here that is your reverse gear. So if you get stuck, hit a tree, you just pop it in reverse and back it out.
Yeah, it's just like a Goldwing.
And you were saying GS boys, eat your heart out. I have seen some people tackle gnarlier stuff on one of these than on a GS.
That is very true.
These things are really rough and tumble, and they feel like it when you're riding it.
Yeah, well, there's only one thing left to do. I am dying to ride this thing, so let's get started. Okay, comrade, what are the procedures for this?
So there's a lot to think about. So first of all, just one click up is on. Over clicking it, you're not gonna be able to turn it on. I found that one out the hard way. The transmission is just like a Grom.
What's up with this lever? Is that reverse?
Nope, that is a heel shifter.
Okay. So it is like a Harley.
Yep. So it's literally, it feels like a Grom when you go. You just kind of got to smash it into place.
Yeah.
There's your rear right there. Your rear brake is in the right spot, but right behind it, you have a parking brake, which down is off, up is on.
So this?
Yeah, you got to pull it up over the thingy, and that's on.
I see, yeah. Okay, I got it.
And then that's your reverse lever right beneath it.
Uh-huh.
Up is not in reverse, down is in reverse.
This one?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's your reverse
So we're
lever.
going straight.
And then that's your two-wheel lever.
Okay.
So,
Sweet, let's give it a go.
yeah. Just poodle around a little bit because it's going to feel very peculiar. You need to keep the handlebars in the turn. It's not like a motorcycle where it just kind of settles. You have to fight the turn the whole time.
Oh, wow, okay. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It is like a snowmobile, yeah. You gotta just keep pushing it.
You're starting to lift that tire, so when the tire comes up, you want to just let it softly come down. You know, don't slam it down or change to lower it. Just kind of get used to it.
Oh yeah, you gotta just keep pushing on it. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
You gotta just keep tugging at the bars.
Try feeling the rear brake. Watch what it does when you hit the rear brake.
Ha! Okay. It just tilts the opposite direction.
Yep.
This is such a fundamentally imbalanced vehicle. Look at this, rear brake. I did not change direction. I didn't do that. It did that.
And by the way, when it goes into a tag slapper, it just kind of does that, so just ride it out.
Yeah. Oh no, I already felt that, yeah. Really nice transmission. Yeah, it's constantly just like going in different directions. It's fun doing low speed stuff on it because you don't have to balance the rear brake at all. You just kind of just.
Yep. Yeah, too much turning to the left, and you'll dip the nose of the sidecar right in the ground and grind it up against its underneath rail.
Yeah.
You ready for some ballast?
I was gonna say only one thing left. Jump on in, my friend.
All right, here we go.
I had the pleasure of doing this earlier. You'll really like it, honestly. It's palatial, royal, one would say. You know.
Here we go.
Ooh, that is quite the ballast. All right.
Onward, comrade. This feels so weird.
It's constantly just bucking and weaving in different directions. You ready?
Here we go. This is not exactly the most plush accommodation right here.
See the front wheel?
Tag slapper just going into another gear.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's weird because it has the two wheels in the back. You can, like it just kind of sorts itself out, you know?
Yeah.
Honestly, this isn't bad. It's pretty easy to ride. I mean, you just, like you said, you gotta just keep pushing for some reason, but...
Yeah. It takes a little bit more thought. I was expecting it to be a little bit more normal, like a motorcycle, but...
No,
it's not even close to that.
In Soviet Russia, bike rides you!
I feel it like twist to the right when you get on it, and then when you get off, it goes back to the left.
Yeah, what do you say? You want to get out on the road?
All right, here we go.
Let's do it, baby! All right, Spite, passenger, how you feeling? Going at speed now on the road.
It's not as bad as I initially thought, poodling around the parking lot. It's actually really fun. I'm just sitting here. I have to give up the fact that I have no control over what's going on.
Yeah.
But once I do that, I feel like I should just be having my big Soviet like long coat on and a clipboard just judging your progress here. You know, I should
think
just
for me as the rider, the driver, whatever you want to call me right now in this role, having you in the passenger seat makes it feel a lot more stable, that's for sure.
Yeah, that
I love doing bad downshifts on this and just seeing what it does.
That was one of the things I noticed immediately when we hopped over to the
Go, URAL! Get a gear! Why is it stuck? There we go. I tried 3 times to grab second. It was like, no. I literally felt the lever springing out of the spot. Oh, man.
Yeah, the first thing I noticed when you hopped in on our way over to the parking lot was how much more stable the machine felt.
Yeah.
With ballast in the car. It keeps the wheel down.
Yeah.
And it makes it easier to ride. So I guess if you're soloing the Ural, the best thing you could do is put a sandbag or something in here.
Yeah, no, I actually, it's so weird because, like you said, you have to abandon all your preconceptions, and the thing with it is, you know, it tells its own story. It's doing its own thing constantly, and you have to just let it. You have to give up control on the Ural, otherwise you're going to have a bad time. Like, if you fight it, it will just bite you back, it seems, you know?
Yeah. It literally is like riding a snowmobile in that sense. You need to...
Yeah.
You need to just
do what it wants to do. You need to ride out whatever it does. But it's so, one of the things, and you'll have to tell me if it feels like this for you, but one of the things that was so strange to me was wanting to be like in the middle of the lane, like I'm on a motorcycle, and then having the sidecar there.
Yeah, I just thought about that actually, where I was like, oh, let me put it to the right, where, you know, the tires of other vehicles have been through here, you know, and you can't do that because then the sidecar is going to be off in the ditch, you know.
Yeah, you literally need to ride like a car. I mean, it's got a narrower wheelbase, but it's more car than motorcycle and less, you know, car than bike. It's somewhere in between. It's really strange.
Yeah. Although it's just, for me as a motorcyclist, mid-corner, I just can't believe I have to keep giving it steering inputs. Otherwise, it'll just go straight.
Yep. I got surprised when I was coming over here. There was a corner that I was like, oh, I gotta just turn into it, and then I'm good. No, you need to turn into it and then keep it locked. Otherwise, it'll correct itself and go straight, because it just naturally wants to go sort of straight in a general straight line.
I also love how the speedometer needle is just bouncing up and down.
Yeah, it's constantly just wobbling between the gears.
It's kind of a workout to ride this thing, man. I mean, you gotta constantly be fighting the bars and telling it where to go. Like,
it's not an easy Sunday ride, the Ural.
No, it's not.
Although for me down here, it is kind of an easy Sunday ride. I get to look around. I got my helmet open. I'm just smelling the clean air and just chilling. It's
kind of nice, right? Do you think it's worth it?
Well, yes
I'm having
and no.
a hard time figuring it out. Yeah.
It's both. Yeah, like yes, in the sense that it is the most unique vehicle out there, and you know, if it's what you want, then sure, it's totally worth it. But if not, if you're thinking this is going to have some sort of just regular motorcycle lifestyle to it, it's completely not that.
No, it's something else entirely.
So you got to be wanting the Ural life to get it, and if you do, then again, it's the only thing out there for you.
I think for a lot of folks, it's that. It's like Ural or nothing, you know?
Mm-hmm. But it's one of those things where if you really know how to ride a Ural, you don't know how to ride a motorcycle. And if you know how to ride a motorcycle, you don't know how to ride a Ural. Imagine taking this off-road.
Oh my God. You have to be such a man to ride this thing off-road, dude. I'll tell you right now, I don't have the testicular fortitude to take this off-road. No way. Or, you know what? Maybe it's easy. I don't know, but it doesn't seem like it would be. It's so heavy.
Oh,
but
dude,
I guess it's not going to tip over, right? Unless you really it up. It'll just kind of trundle down.
We got to put it in two-wheel for you before you give it up, before we switch.
Okay.
You got to feel it in two-wheel drive. If you think the steering is heavy now...
All right, how do I get it in two-wheel drive?
Two-wheel drive is just... We got to move it forward a little bit. There you go. Now you're in two-wheel drive.
In two-wheel? All right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Jesus. Okay. It's completely different.
Yep.
Ah! Piece of shit. Oh my God. Oh, wow, dude. Like, it's like muscling a Busa around the shop. Yeah, I can tell why you'd only want to turn that on for off-road. It's really, like, why else would you want that, you know?
I find the easiest way to ride this thing is to just go really slow with everything.
Yeah. You do, this is not a vehicle you want to rush anything with. That's how you get in trouble in this thing.
Yeah. Like, even with the shifts, shifting really slow is the way to do it.
Yeah.
And then just kind of poodle around. Speed is like at any point, speed is the enemy of the Ural. Yeah, you literally feel every single bump in the road with this thing. You can't avoid anything.
Yeah.
And if there's a little rut or a little crack, you're going into it.
Yeah. I will say, I think I can firmly say I prefer being a passenger on this vehicle than driving it.
With the passenger, I prefer driving it. Without a passenger, I'd prefer to not be on it. Like seriously, poodling around in first and second gear at this speed, it feels really nice.
Yeah, this vehicle, it's like you said, it's like a perfect city bike, right? It's like a perfect like novelty city bike almost, where you just want to kind of poodle around town, maybe go to a cafe or something. I mean, it's why, I mean, we live in Austin, right? So it's why if you're in like, you know, South Congress area, downtown, east side, you might see a Ural, you know, you might see some goofy shit like that because people are probably bopping around from their houses like a couple streets over with their Ural, right?
Yeah, and the streets are really predictable. There's no crazy curves or anything, so you don't have to worry about, you know, like imagine a decreasing radius turn like on Lime Creek with this thing.
Oh man.
How
I mean, that's just
horrifying would
asking
that
for
be?
death, you know?
Yeah. And, you know, it's just so much better to slowly meander with this motorcycle.
Is it a motorcycle?
I don't know. Is it a motorcycle? Would you call it a motorcycle?
It's got two wheels being driven at the rear, so I don't know if you can call it a motorcycle.
I wouldn't even call it a tricycle, though, because it's you know, the second rear wheel's not always under power.
Yeah, and the weird thing is, like, the front wheel is, you know, off to the side of it. I just think it's nuts that this works at all, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like, you would look at this design and you'd be like, well, that's probably not going to work, you know?
I think originally it was designed so that some, you know, German general could be driven around by his lackey
Yeah.
at some point, and then
I
the
definitely
Soviets.
feel that way sitting in the passenger car. Like I said, I feel like royalty, like nobility. It's very stately being in the passenger seat,
Mm-hmm.
being chauffeured around for all to see me. But the thing about these bikes, as far as I understand, is so they used to be made like in Russia for like the same for like decades, but recently it's changed, right?
Yeah, I mean it's still the same machine more or less. They've updated it. It doesn't have carburetors anymore. It's more modern. The main car has ABS, and then the sidecar doesn't. At least I think.
Yeah.
And they still use a lot of the same old technology, like this crazy fork situation up front.
Yeah.
But it still has that old quality about it. And that is a stop sign.
Yep.
Test the braking
I was
quality.
wondering if you were gonna stop. I was like, it's about to get exciting.
But hey, if you use all three brakes on this motorcycle, it works pretty good.
What's the third brake?
Yeah, you got the outside wheel, the inside rear
okay,
wheel,
I got you. Yeah,
and
yeah.
then your front. You got three brakes. This is one of the only motorcycles where I feel legitimate mechanical sympathy when I rev it out.
Oh God, yeah. You don't want to rev this thing out at all.
Away we go.
Get the hammer down, dude. I'm already
Hey,
like,
we hit
slow down,
45 miles an hour.
Oh yeah. You know what this reminds me of? It reminds me of, hey, we got a biker wave. Did you see that?
Yeah, I did.
Yes. This reminds me of Zach and Ari when they did that 2-up touring bike at Laguna Seca thing.
Yep.
God, that must have been wild to be on that thing, to be going at pace on a racetrack. I mean, because even you going 45, going straight on this, I'm like, oh God, oh God, oh God.
I was completely hammered down too. That was crazy. It is literally no one's awake. We should get the Gixxer 250 and see which one's faster.
We should. Well, you want to do that? Let's go grab the Gixxer and see what happens.
Yep.
All right.
Third
this
beep.
Is
Let's
Eric
go.
Gixxer versus.
I'll beep.
Yeah. All right, this is Eric.
2,
Gixxer
3.
versus Ural.
Oh, I stalled. Oh God.
Victory!
That was a technical knockout. Whoops. I actually popped a little baby wheelie. The front
popped a
wheel
wheelie
came
on
right
it?
off the ground.
Really?
Yeah, it was like a total 1-inch wheelie, and then the tire turned.
No
I gotta-
way. That's awesome.
Yeah, I gotta feather the clutch just a little bit more, and it literally just wanted to go right into you. So I should start on the other side.
I'll give us some more space then. All right, you ready?
Yep. It did the same thing where the front end jumped up on me. That's crazy.
Yeah, I'm not gonna go. I just want to see you go. Oh my God!
See what I'm talking about?
I did not expect it to do that. I guess it has enough. Are you in two-wheel drive?
No, I'm in one-wheel drive.
I guess it has enough torque to where it could just lift. That's crazy.
My second wheel has been engaged.
And your turning radius is now ass.
But now I have grip for days.
Whitney, if you want to give us the flag.
It's even slower. It's even slower.
Alrighty guys, wrapping up the day with the Ural here. This is a very exciting and interesting motorcycle, but not in the traditional way that you think of bikes. You think of exciting as fast, crazy, loud, but this is exciting in the way that you're like, is this going to kill me when I'm going down the road? Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah. It's, when you first get on it, you're like, this is horrible, this is terrible, I hate it, I want to get off, give me a normal motorcycle again. And then you understand that you were trying to ride it, not just sitting along for the ride. When you're just poodling down the street on this thing, just letting it wiggle and do tank slappers and stuff going in a straight line, you start to appreciate the wonky stupidity of it all, and you can have a lot of fun with it.
Yeah.
You know?
Like I remember when I was going around circles in the parking lot and I just kind of got the wheel off the edge a little bit and just kind of, you know, tripoding it a little bit. It was kind of fun. So the real question today is, can we call this thing a motorcycle? And for my money, I'd say yes, but with a few caveats. Spite, what do you think?
I mean, it technically is a cycle with a motor in
You got
it.
the bars, you got the twist throttle.
It's
It's got a transmission, more than scooters can say.
It does motorcycle-ish things, but when it is like a motorcycle, it's a bad motorcycle.
Yeah.
As a sidecar, as something else, then it becomes a little bit more fun. It becomes a little bit more easy to understand. So if you come into it with a motorcycle mindset, you're gonna have a bad time.
So for me, the Ural is just one of motorcycling's peculiar oddities. It is like nothing else I have ever ridden in my whole life. And for what it's worth, Whitney, our camera person, has absolutely fallen in love with this thing. She says she wants to go buy one immediately. She wants to put her kid and her husband and her dog all in it and go have some fun adventures. So I think you're either a Ural person or you're not. That's what I'm, you know, kind of ascertaining from today's episode.
For 16.5, are you a Ural person?
No way, dude. No way! We got our new expert bike giveaway reveal coming live tomorrow, and that bike cost 18 G's out the door, and no way would you get me on this for 16.5.
No, this is a really hard sell because it just doesn't have a lot of the, first of all, they're very unreliable.
Yes.
These Urals are, they do
Notoriously so.
Very notoriously so. The transmission grinds every gear.
Yeah.
The way the tires feel is really strange. There's so many little maintenance items that you need to be thinking about all the time or it'll fall apart. But on the flip side, it has a gigantic tool roll in the back you can literally take the whole motorcycle apart with if you needed to.
I suppose that's true. Comes with a jerry can, a spare wheel and tire, all this space in it too.
It's got a tire pump in the back, a little old bicycle tire pump.
And a shovel.
And a shovel.
I don't know, man. Maybe when you put it that way, you're like, well, if you step outside regular motorcycling, you're like, is the value of this at least 16.5? And seeing as this is practical as a minivan, I'd say so, probably.
I'd take this over a minivan every day.
I almost said a miniman.
A miniman.
I'd take it over a miniman too for my money. Don't know how much UCB off-road. What else can I say about this thing? I think for me personally, I've much preferred being a passenger than a driver on this thing. Felt very stately, noble, very nice going down the road. I think once you got into it and learned how to really manhandle it, you were liking piloting it, right?
Yeah, I prefer being a driver of the Ural than a passenger because I like being in control. I don't like the idea of surrendering control of the vehicle because it is just so uncertain.
Yeah.
you know, in my brain. So
even just going straight down the road, you don't really know what it's gonna do. You know, it's always just kind of going left, right, you know? It's crazy.
It's infuriating how literally going straight, there's a crack in the road. Oh, tank slapper. You just have to ride it out. Like, oh, steering damper, it's for, you know, your leader bikes. If this didn't have a steering damper, it would just be doing this the whole way down the road. But so it's fun. It's
wrapping
fun.
it up, would you own one?
No, I would not own one. Not for me. A little too wonky, but I get the appeal. I really do.
Yeah, I think as a novelty item, and if you want people to pay attention to you when you're going down the road, this will do way better than any fancy supercar, that's for sure. And I think it's a really interesting motorcycle. I don't know if I would own one either. I think I could maybe make the case for it as a Yammie Noob fleet vehicle. We could do cool rolling shots with it, load up all of our snacks for the day with it. But I don't know if I'd actually own one, but I do like it a lot, honestly. I liked it more than I thought I would. It's got a lot of character, a lot of charm, and it's been fun diving into the world of sidecars for today. So if you guys enjoyed this episode, hit subscribe down below. We're always putting out cool motorcycle videos and content. We'll catch you on the next one. Comrades, sukabliet! And just like that, when you least expect it, Cowboy Aim is back at it once again. Why don't you click this video right here, you let me know what you think of it, okay? Leave me a nice comment, subscribe to the channel, leave me a like, do all those nice things, and y'all have yourselves a good day.